Hey guys, welcome back to Eric Reacts with Season 3, Episode 5 of Game of Thrones. This episode is called Kissed by Fire. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens in this episode. We'll probably get the battle between Beric Dondarrion and Sandor Clegane. We also probably might see how the story progresses in terms of Sansa. She's being used as a pawn and she's the key to the north. And Marjorie and the Tyrells plan to marry her off to Loras so that they can get her on their side. But Littlefinger probably has other plans. He probably plans to marry her, despite saying he's going to Lysa. And I feel like the Lannisters understand too that she's the key to the north, and they'll try to get in their way somehow. I also feel like Daenerys is gaining power very quickly, and they're gonna give the writers. I feel like they're gonna give her some obstacles so she doesn't take over King's Landing by the end of the season. But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens next. Why? Why was that necessary? What? Oh, you can see a little bit of fear in his eyes. Whoa. Is this helping him overcome his fear of fire? Bring him back from death? No.
Looks like the god likes me more than your butcher's boy.
He will, but not today.
Oh. Wow.
He's no crow.
Just because you want him inside you, don't make him one of us.
Wow.
I'm not afraid of you.
If you lie to me, I'll pull your guts out through your throat.
Like, down this way?
Men.
Who vouched for you with months?
That's true.
Oh, it seems you owe me a debt.
Whoa.
Come steal it back. Time you proved yourself.
Oh, wow.
You swore some vows.
Time to break him.
I want you to break them.
Oh, man.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
You know nothing. Oh, you know something.
That thing you did with your mouth. Is that what lords do to their ladies in the south?
Is he as good as Pod?
I like it.
I liked it some.
Someone's gonna show up, ruin their
Let's
moment.
not go back. Let's stay here a while longer.
Oh, I thought she meant like, let's not go back ever.
I don't ever want to leave this cave, Jon Snow. Not ever.
Okay, she actually does mean ever. Oh, because she knows he's still loyal to the Night's Watch.
Take this away.
Send it to his father.
You'll hold your tongue unless you want to lose it.
That's that word from the capital.
Stannis Baratheon laid siege to King's Landing. And your sister, how can I put this,
She's fine.
is alive and well. Your father's forces prevailed.
Toying with him a little bit.
No milk of the puppy.
There will be pain.
There's gonna be.
Scream.
Quite a bit of pain.
I'll scream loudly.
I'm gonna scream.
Boy, that's enough. We're not in a tavern.
Pardon me,
There's no
lady.
need to speak. Are there any figs? Fetch some. I always take
Poor
figs
Pod.
mid-after. I was told you were drunk, impertinent, and thoroughly debauched. You can imagine my disappointment at finding nothing but a browbeaten bookkeeper. Where did you go
Wow.
for them? Volantis?
Milady.
Oh, very well. I won't have it said the House Tyrell refuses to play its part. We'll pay for half the expenses, and the celebrations will go on as planned.
Wow.
Is that sufficient?
Quite sufficient, thank you.
Very good, then.
I've never had a family.
I can be your family.
Aww.
You wouldn't be my family. You'd be my lady.
What the hell?
Is this a rescue?
No.
do anything! I'm just a small friend!
Mercy, sire! I didn't kill anyone! I only watched for the guards!
This one was only the Watcher.
Hang him last so he can watch the others die.
Please, please, no, they made me do it!
Kill me and be cursed. You are no king of mine.
One hit. One strike.
It's the Lord of Light brings you back. I'm just the lucky drunk who says the words.
How many times?
5, I think. No, this makes 6.
6 times.
There was the...
Every time I come back, I'm a bit less. Pieces of you get chipped away.
Could you bring back a man without a head?
Ned?
I don't think it works that way, child.
Water.
My sweet boy.
Oh.
Peter.
Oh no.
You've grown since I last saw you. Sir Davos is a traitor.
Don't believe that for a second, child.
There's another tub.
Jaime. What are you doing? Frickin' Jaime. Aw, you're making her uncomfortable. Look at her squirreling away to the other corner.
You're supposed to get me to King's Landing in one piece. Not going so well, is it? No wonder Renly died with you guarding it.
Whoa! Low blow, man.
I was unworthy. Forgive me. You protected me better than most.
Don't you mock me?
I'm apologizing.
So he had his pyromancer place caches of wildfire all over the city.
Leave the scepter of Baelor.
He was gonna burn it all.
He told me to bring him my father's head. Burn them all, he said. If your precious Renly commanded you to kill your own father and stand by while thousands of men, women, and children burned alive, would you have done it? Would you have kept your oath then?
Why didn't you tell Lord Stark?
Stark? You think the Honorable Ned Stark wanted to hear my side? Right!
The Kingslayer!
My name's Jaime.
On your knife.
She came looking.
Princess. Gods, what are you doing here?
Thank you, my lady. I'm sure it's a fine book. But it's wasted on me. My lady, I can't read the words.
You can't? I'll teach you. I'll come when Bert's on duty and teach
Aww.
you. It's easy.
No.
It'll be fun.
Go. We can't.
Why not? What would they do? Lock us in cells?
Aw.
Just once in my life before it's over. I want to know what it's like to serve with pride. To fight for someone I believe in. You believe in her?
With all his heart.
With all my heart.
Broji es bezos senestas kimbroto. Quinile shibroji melezesco mazedas terari vabustar. Itorco nodo saji broji. Esbezi
When
ejitovi.
she freed them.
Generis germasmo. Jiteptas jiterfe.
Give them a new purpose.
What?
I don't know. I don't even know where Winterfell is. What is it?
He saw something.
I'm going to take their home away from them.
Wait, why wasn't that? I thought they were.
Do it.
I thought they were planning to do that already.
There is only one person in this kingdom with that kind of army who hasn't already sided with the Lannisters.
Who?
The man whose daughter I was supposed to marry.
Oh God, are you serious?
Alder Frey.
I should like to see you spar with a proper partner, sir.
Oh. Well, that happened quickly.
Well, it took long enough.
Yeah.
Seems our Knight of Flowers is engaged to be wed.
She may not be the grandest
Damn.
in the world.
Things happened quickly.
Fastest.
I hope you know that I'm your friend, Sansa. Your true friend.
I do, Lord Baelish.
What's she doing here?
What's she doing here?
Stop that. You're making me uncomfortable.
Your
Smiling
sister
at.
understand that we need to act first and kill this union in its crib.
And how do we do that?
We find Sansa Stark a different husband.
Wonderful.
Yes, it is.
Oh. That's why she's smiling.
Joffrey has made this poor girl's life miserable since the day he took her father's head. Now she's finally free of him and you give her to me? That's cruel, even for you.
You intend on mistreating her?
She's a child.
She's flowered, I assure you. She and I have discussed it at length.
There,
That's
see?
not what he
Wed
means.
her, bed her, and put a child in her. Tyrion will do as he's bid. As will you.
Oh?
You'll marry Sir Loras.
I will not.
The boy is heir to High Garden. Tyrion will secure the north, you will secure the Reach.
No, I won't do it.
But you will.
You're my daughter! You will do as I command, and you will marry Loras Tyrell.
Father, don't make me do it again, please.
Not another word.
And the pillar's right in between them. Alright guys, answers to your Q&A on the left at the end of this video. And that was a very flashy battle between Sandor and Beric. Before, I mentioned that it was possible that the Lord of Light was just something Melisandre made up and that she was just using her own magical powers to spread a false religion. So I never really believed that, but at that point we hadn't seen any other believers other than the ones she created, and we didn't see any sign of the Lord of Light's magic other than hers. So it always felt a little open-ended, like it could go that way, but I didn't think it would. But it was a heck of a way to get confirmation that it's more a more widespread religion, but also that it seems to grant magical powers not only to Melisandre. It's probably in the history and lore for season 2. I'm actually gonna watch that right now after this episode, but I should have gotten on that earlier. They purposely left it kind of vague when Beric says it doesn't work like that in response to Arya asking about bringing her father back to life. Is it because it's been too long? Thoros did recite the words as quickly as he could, so maybe it's that. Or is it because getting your head chopped off is a little too much to heal? Bringing the dead back to life changes everything though. Like from now on, I'm not gonna believe someone is dead unless they're dead for like at least 2 episodes. Or they get turned into a white. And Beric has died freaking 6 times. And he says that he comes back a little less human every time. I don't know if you guys have seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but that's what happened there too. People aren't the same after they've been killed and come back to life. And they're going to trade Arya back to Robb for a price. I would probably call it more of a recovery fee than holding her hostage, but to each their own. Jon is forced to give information about the Night's Watch to keep his cover. We haven't really gotten to see the Jon and Ygritte banter that we did last season, so it was nice to see them getting along, we'll say. Apparently they don't do cunnilingus north of the wall, because she was just like surprised about it. I suspected that Ygritte knows that Jon is still loyal to the Night's Watch, or at the very least that he's on the wall about it. Get it? On the wall. But that scene in the water hinted at it more strongly. She doesn't want to ever leave because they'll have to go back to that reality soon. So north of the wall, if Jon has a child, they wouldn't be named Snow, right? Is that why he's okay with it now, having sex with someone? Or is it because he actually has feelings for Ygritte that pushes him over the edge? Roose Bolton acts pretty honorable, but his men all seem rather sadistic. There were those who tortured Jaime, and then there's the guy who captured Theon. So, like, of course, we've had Stark men who strung up sex workers for sleeping with Lannisters. So a lord's men doesn't necessarily carry his values. But I'm still wary of Roose Bolton because we haven't seen any of his men actually act with a shred of honor. He also toys with Jaime a little bit before telling him Cersei is alive. But at least he gets the ex-maester Qyburn, I think it was, to patch him up. And I feel like Qyburn might be a bigger character going forward, because the fact that he's bold with his treatments, that's very interesting. And Jaime tries to get him to save as much of the flesh as possible. Probably doesn't want Milk of the Poppy so he can keep a clear head. And then we moved on to the bath scene. So we finally learned the story behind Jaime killing Aerys Targaryen. I never held that against him because, I mean, there's a reason he was called the Mad King. And the rules of this society made people with honor look down on him, though. Jaime said Ned would never even listen, and it really paints the interactions at the beginning of the show in a different light. Yeah, Ned was an honorable man for sure, but the definition of honor in his day and age just are pretty screwed up. So I learned about moral relativism from watching The Good Place, and it basically says that actions are not inherently good or bad. It all depends on the situation, and this society sees things too black and white in the show, in society as well, a couple times. I mean, Jaime still tried to kill Bran, so I'm not saying he's a saint, but he isn't as bad as the people in Westeros think he is. And honestly, it's kind of a big character flaw to follow the rules for honor so closely without taking anything else into consideration. Like, just because it's the law doesn't make it right, especially when the people who make the rules often benefit from them. So yeah. Tyrion is doing his best as Master of Coin. It's a tough position for sure. Going to Olenna Tyrell to ask her to tell her the wedding is too expensive. Yikes. Olenna agrees to help pay for it though. Perhaps she doesn't want to risk anything slowing down the wedding process. They're trying to grab power, of course. I love her line, "Where'd you get those figs? Volantis?" She's freaking hilarious. Back with Robb, Karstark straight up murders the two Lannister boys. He was so driven by emotion that he doesn't care that the two boys don't really matter to the opposition and will only result in them coming down on the North even harder. And he doesn't care that he's betraying his king or that he might even be killed for it. And yeah, Robb kills Karstark. I thought it was very interesting that they play the same music as when Theon was killing Roderick. I don't know if there's significance or foreshadowing there, or if it was just like, oh, it's cool music for executions. Because it signified the beginning of Theon's downfall. Is this the beginning of the end for Robb too? I mean, at least he got Karstark's head off in one swing, but Robb loses half his troops because he chose to kill Karstark. And he's looking to Walder freaking Frey for backup. Say that 5 times fast. Walder freaking Frey. Frey, dang it. Alright, I'm pretty sure Walder Frey would see him hang for being an Oathbreaker and considers Robb as much an enemy as anybody else. So I've been worried since Robb met Talissa, so we'll see how that plays out. Stannis' wife doesn't care that he cheated on her. There are more important things to her, and she couldn't give him a child that didn't die and wind up in a jar or grew up sickly. And Stannis' daughter is a cute kid. It sucks that she's locked up, definitely. I'm glad she still trusts Davos and tries to be nice to him. And it's just like trying to teach him to read. She was like, what are they going to do? Lock us in cells? Yeah, hopefully he learns to read well, and maybe he'll learn something new also. So the head of the Kingsguard typically sits on the small council, and apparently that tradition ended with Robert Baratheon, because when Joffrey became king and Tyrion became the Hand, it would have been pretty funny to see Bronn on the small council, honestly. Jorah is pretty lucky Barristan didn't serve on the council, though, or he probably would have known that Jorah was a spy for Robert Baratheon. Barristan tells Jorah that a slave owner might not be the best ally for Daenerys when she returns to Westeros, though. And he might be right. The Unsullied almost worship Daenerys. Grey Worm keeps his name because it was the one he had when she freed him. And he hates his old name because that's the one he had when he was enslaved. That's a heck of a statement. He's also very, very young, and yet chosen to be the leader of all these guys. So I'm wondering if he's going to be a big character going forward. Loras lets it slip to a Littlefinger spy that he's planning to marry Sansa. And everything just moves so quickly at the end of the episode. Sansa decides to stay instead of going back to Winterfell. Seems like a terrible idea. Littlefinger informs Tywin, who decides to put a stop to the schemes by marrying Tyrion off to Sansa. And there was Cersei. She thought she was there so she could watch Tyrion squirm, but Tywin had plans for her to marry Loras. And I kind of feel bad for her. I really do, actually. I feel bad for her. Her saying, "Don't make me do this again." She was miserable with Robert Baratheon, but she was able to get Joffrey on the throne. But there's no way she wants to do it again. And this is everything to Tywin. He sees his children as tools to further the family name, and that's it. It's honestly a really shitty father. I wonder if both of them will go through with their weddings. What if they just decide not to? I don't know. It's like Bronn, like, what if I just not pay back the debt? What happens? What if I don't? Honestly, if Cersei and Tyrion weren't so antagonistic towards each other, I think they would benefit from working together to assassinate Tywin. Like I said about Tywin's death offers a lot of benefits to King's Landing, honestly. The kingdom would come into a lot of money, and they could pay off the Bank of Bravos, and the two, Tyrion and Cersei, wouldn't have to marry anyone they didn't want to. But yeah, this is another great episode, guys. I'm giving this episode 3.5 dire wolves. This has been a great, solid season. I think this is my favorite season so far. But yeah, all right, guys. Answers to the Q&A you asked, the questions you asked in the Q&A over here, and thanks for watching. Bye, friends.